Alright, I don't know if this started, but we're just gonna go with it, and hopefully it did. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. So I've been trying to keep up with doing the Tip Tuesdays, and I ended up getting a lot of feedback from yesterday's post, which if for whatever reason you're watching this and you didn't see that, it was kids who are consistently bribed and rewarded will spend a lot of time and energy trying to figure out what they can do to please or upset their parents, and they will have no time or energy left to develop their own capacity to realistically evaluate their own abilities, deeds, and goals. So, I'm trying to read this and make this as effective as possible. Bear with me. This is something that's really a big deal to me. I've been working with kids for over 16 years, and there's a really fine line between reward and discipline and how we go about doing it, and there's different belief systems. And hey, I don't know if it's Gabby or if it's Tyrone, but either one, hey guys, feel free to ask me questions too on the topic. So we're just talking about using love languages as reward or discipline, and the benefits and the drawbacks of using different types. So as I was saying, you know, in the 16 years that I've worked with kids from all walks of life and family, I've seen the repercussions from many different angles, and my philosophy is always do what works for you and your children. Do what works for your family system, because what works great for one family system will never work for the other. So I wanted to talk about a few things here. One, I want to talk about the different love languages, because that's a big deal, and then also a child's social emotional development. Not to say that other things regarding this topic are not important, but I want to focus on those two things. And if you guys have questions at any point in time, type them out, or you can DM me. And if I don't answer them on this video, I will try and make another one, or I will just DM you back. So let me pull this down. Sorry. Okay, so first I want to start with a child's social emotional development. There's multiple areas of development. We already all know this. But to me, in my experience and my research, social emotional development from ages 0 to 5 is one of the most crucial and important areas of development that we want to focus on. That maybe as, like, I know when I was growing up, it was a lot more focused on cognitive and academics, and it was important that we all knew our ABCs and our colors and all that stuff. As time has gone on and we've had access to more information, we're realizing that social emotional development is so huge when it comes to lifelong traits, characteristics, and important things that we want to hold on to. I'm a big believer, and again, this was my belief system. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, and what you do for you and your family is cool. I'm a big believer that if you focus on a child's social emotional development when they're young, again, 0 to 5, it helps them in other areas of their life to cope. Because essentially that's what it is. You can be naturally a great math-minded person or a spatially intelligent person, but if you come into a situation where you become frustrated or challenged and you don't have your social emotional skills developed in order to cope with that, you're gonna struggle. So the reason why I bring all of this up is because very much rewarding or disciplining behavior taps into this social emotional development. Now, kids I mean, as we know, like as it is to be human, we all want to be somehow rewarded for something that we're doing well. And none of us necessarily like, hey, Ange. I'm such a nerd. I am, not you. I get so excited. As we, I just had a brain fart. I was going somewhere. Oh, we all want to be rewarded for the things that we do well, and we don't necessarily like it when we're disciplined, but it all has its purpose. So why I posted that yesterday about, to me, it was talking about material things being rewarded for children's behavior. And I absolutely agree that there is a time and place, but it's really easy to use it as a cop-out in order to not have to deal with a behavior. So if we're in Target, because I don't really know anybody who doesn't like Target, and your child is throwing a fit because they want something, it can either reward the behavior if they're throwing a fit, or we can redirect the behavior. So let me give some examples. I'm going to get into the 5 love languages. For those of you who don't know, which it's pretty common, the 5 languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, there's the one that we're focusing on, quality time, and acts of service. So a lot of times what we do in our relationships as we get into adulthood is everybody has a love language, children too, and we develop those love languages by creating a space, and we often tend to give people the love language that we hope we receive or we enjoy receiving. So if as a child, you really sought to have physical touch, but it wasn't the main love language that your parents were willing to give, then oftentimes as adults, our love language is physical touch, but we give physical touch when really we're wanting to receive it. Same thing goes with children. If you're a parent who didn't get a lot growing up because you guys didn't have the finances or your parents didn't believe in that and you always sought it out, we will give those that type of love language to our children, which makes perfect sense. There's no judgment. It makes sense. But that in the long run could somewhat be hindering to your child. I think it's really great to remember that everything in balance. And sometimes when we're having a rough day as the grown-up, we don't want to deal with behaviors because our behavior is not great. And so it's easier to just give in. And if you're having those days, it's all good. It makes perfect sense. But when it becomes their norm and their constant, there's no room for a child to experience other love languages. So I want to encourage you guys to try using, instead of just gifting and giving, try using the 4 other areas of the love language. Words of affirmation. Okay, so this is like a hot topic too, because people are like, you don't want to constantly be like, oh, good job, good job, good job. Yes, that is true. You want to make it more specific. I'll use this as an example. Yesterday I took Luke, one of the little guys I work with, we went swimming, and last summer he was more brave than he was before to go into the water, but he was still a little bit scared. And so yesterday we went to the pool, and he seems a lot more confident. He's going to be 4 in like 2 weeks. Crazy. And anyways, I had my goggles because I will swim laps sometimes, and I had them in my bag, and we were trying to look under the water. I was like, hey, I have my goggles. Do you want to put them on and try looking under the water? So I grabbed my goggles, and then I grabbed a quarter because I was thinking. And I was like, here you go. And I had him put them on, and I was like, if you reach the quarter, you can keep it. And it took him a few minutes. We talked about the breath, and we talked about the how to blow out and blow the water out of your nose if it comes in. And it was so crazy because I thought he would do it for sure and be way more stoked on that he got a quarter, because the kid loves to find coins because it's the greatest thing ever. But he did it, and when he came out, I was like, wow, you did so good. You held your breath, you put your face in the water, you grabbed the quarter. That's amazing. I was like, you should be so proud of yourself. Now, that's verbiage that I've given him since I've been with him, which has been since he was 4 months. And it's often something I will say to kids because it takes it away from them trying to please you, and understanding that, oh my gosh, I can be proud of myself. So I said to him, you should be so proud of yourself. That's a really big deal. Look how much better you got from last summer. I didn't focus on the quarter because that was the tangible gift. And that wasn't even my intention. I just wanted to motivate him to try and put his face in the water and not let fear get in the way. And he was so stoked on himself. And we got in the car like an hour later, and he's like, man, I'm so proud of myself. And when he got home, or when we went and picked up his sister, he's like, Olivia, guess what I did? Put my face in the water. I'm so proud of myself. And it became his tape that he plays in his head. Now, not every situation goes like this, but it was a winning situation for both him and I. I could have easily said, I'm so proud of you, which I did say that, but just focus on that. I'm so proud of you. Let's go get you a toy. Let's get you your own pair of goggles because you did such a good job. Or now that you found this quarter, let's go get you a piece of candy or whatever. It wasn't about that for him. It was so much more important to him that he was proud of himself. He didn't need the other love languages. He felt it himself. So that's my point of, we don't want to rob our little ones of these learning opportunities for self-awareness and self-assurance. It's so beautiful to watch like this little kid be like, yeah, I'm really stoked on myself. On the other hand, we want to give into our children because we don't want them to feel the feeling of disappointment, because that, for me, has to be one of the hardest feelings to deal with is disappointment. It's rough. But if we don't teach them how to deal with disappointment and give them the coping skills and understand what disappointment feels like down the line later in life, they're going to have a hard time when disappointing situations come up and they don't know how to deal with it. So we're giving them so much more of a gift when we teach them, so you go to Target and, hey, you know what, this time you can't get that car and I'm sorry, but your birthday's coming up or whatever. There's a time and place for those types of things to take action. And, but they're going to be bummed, and you can look at them in the eye and connect with them and say, I am so sorry you're disappointed. I understand. And it's okay to feel disappointed, but we can talk about it, and very different than whining about it and having a tantrum. If that does occur, I'm so sorry that you're having a tantrum, but when you're done and you've come back to feeling okay, let's talk about it. Let's figure out a solution to the problem. Again, a lot of times they may realize that they're tired or they're hungry or whatever else it may be. It's not about the object, but they don't know the difference because their brain's not developed there yet. So all I'm saying is I encourage all of you to consider that there's the 4 other love languages. Understand what your love language is, and if you aren't sure what they are, you can Google the 5 love languages, and there is a plethora of information. Understand what yours is, because then it helps us understand what we're giving. Even though it's what we want to receive, we oftentimes give that. Figure out what your love language is, and then even honestly have a conversation with your kid about it. Hey, there's 5 different things that I could tell you. We could go spend time together, or we can have a snuggle party and watch a movie, or, I can tell you how awesome you are. Like, what's something that makes you feel good? And then even have them say, like, what do you like to do to make other people feel good? It's definitely a conversation that they should be able to have, depending on not even age, but area of development. It's a great way to tap into that social emotional development. So, all of that said, I encourage you guys to explore those 5 love languages, understand what yours is, understand what you need more of in your life and how to obtain that. And that could be a whole other video. And then also, what are you giving out there? And what is it that they're actually needing? Maybe, you know, we aren't spending as much time with them, so we want to replace it with giving them gifts, and because we feel guilty. And really, all they're seeking, they don't need another thing. They just need you to snuggle them, or go play catch with them. I'm so guilty of it too, and I get it. And that's why I'm saying to you, don't judge yourself. If you judge yourself, what example are you to your child if you beat yourself up over it? You're doing the very best that you can, and you want them to do the same thing. So if this is what has been occurring, that's okay. If it's working for you, keep doing it. If you feel that your kid is great and balanced, cool. If it's not, try one of these other methods. Allow them to feel disappointment. Encourage them to feel proud of themselves. Again, you can say, I'm proud of you too, but you want that implemented in there, that, again, it's that self-assurance, that self-esteem that you're building. It's an opportunity for growth in their social development. If you guys have any further questions, please feel free to send me a DM. I would love to talk further about this. I think it's really important. And I think that it's definitely can be a point of contention or a pain point for some of us. Because again, it's the easy way out, but it's not sitting well with us. So let me know how I can support you through that. Also, for those of you that don't know, I've been doing a ton of over the phone sessions, which has been awesome because I feel like I'm able to connect with you, a lot of you that are further away, and it's been great. I also have been working a lot with couples, which has been phenomenal, and we've been doing some really beautiful work. So if some couples coaching is something that you're interested in, I'd love to support you. Anything having to do with the family, please let me know how I can be of service or support to you. If you like this video, send me a message or leave a comment and let me know what you'd like the next video to be on. Any topic. I'm not shy. But yeah, I hope that this was good information that you found useful. And I hope that you guys continue to be kind to yourselves. It helps you so that you can be kind to your little ones and kind to your loved ones. It starts with you. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you next time. Bye.